Hey y'all, it's Vicky and welcome to another video. Today is I want to say the 21st of, is that right? No, it's the 22nd. I've got my days mixed up because I didn't do the Advent calendar. So we're doing the Grinch Advent calendar if you're just now joining me for this Vlogmas. And I am doing the 21st and 22nd because I just put up a little short yesterday because I was so tired from my mini vacation or whatever you want to call it, road trip. And, you know, I hope that I'm not getting what Dave had. He didn't have anything major. I do think his is developed into bronchitis. He goes to the doctor tomorrow, normal appointment, so hopefully if he's not any better as far as his coughing and stuff, they'll give him something that hopefully will help. But anyway, I think it's just, I'm just getting older, and because I don't do as much as I once did, everything just makes me more tired. Plus, y'all know I have fibromyalgia, and I will say sometimes around the holidays, it does bear its ugly head. And that could be part of it too. I keep hearing things. Y'all, I mean, just as I sit down here a minute ago, I could have sworn I could hear Billy over there chomping his food. And stuff like that, you know, it just makes me stop. And, you know, I admit, I'm still not over this plane crash. I don't know why it's hit me so hard. You know, I was never, you know, Greg Biffle was never my driver. I always liked him, but I mean, it's not like it would be if it was Bill or Chase, or I don't think it would be. I mean, I think I would be devastated then. You know, it's stuff that happens that you're not expecting that I think hits you much harder when you know that it's coming. I just believe it hits differently for whatever reason. Anyway, let's get on with this and get off the sadness and some of the creepy stuff. Anyway, so this is the 21st, and this is the Grinch with his bag. And we've had one similar to this before, so this one, the bag is fuller. And then this one is Mrs. Grinch, or Mr. Grinch, whoever, and they're holding something in their hand. Now, maybe y'all know what it is. Like I say, I should have watched the Grinch again, but I haven't. So that's what this one is. This is the 22nd. All right, now we'll go on to some more news in the world. Of course, a lot of our news that I talk about on this channel is Sarasota Tim, and everybody seemed to be getting worried about him. And I think he does that on purpose. You know, I've told him that in my advice to him, when I gave him advice, it was always keep him guessing. And I know I don't follow my own rules because I always tell you where I'm at or where I'm going or, you know, something like that. Now, I didn't tell you exactly that I was going when I left for Pigeon Forge, but I told you I was thinking about it. So anyway, and I could have waited and not posted anything. But I don't like to do that to people. I mean, I feel like that I would not do that to my family, and I'm not going to do that to you. And I mean, you're a different type of family, but you are a family, a community that watch me for whatever reason. You know, you might be one that wants to, you know, make fun of me or whatever, and that's fine. But you're still somebody. And I still think even if you want to make fun of me, you still have a heart. And that's the way I just run it. I don't want to be the type that doesn't post anything, and then some of you worry. I know not everybody would, but some of you might worry. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about, and I've been going to talk about this before now, but I just haven't. John Paul Miller, you know, the case back in Myrtle Beach. I talked about it, you know, a couple years ago maybe. Well, not really, a couple years ago. It's been about a year and a half ago, and I'm sorry, my nose is running this morning. And anyway, he's finally been arrested for cyber stalking. Now, evidently, they let him out, or they didn't keep him. I guess the charge is not something they really put you in jail for overnight or whatever. Anyway, he's been released, I know. And anyway, he'll probably end up having to serve time. I'm going to guess, what I've heard is maybe a little over 2 years is probably what he'll end up being, serving. Now, if it comes up that he did more than just this, then, he did the cyber stalking and then he lied to FBI officials. And from what I understand, what he lied to him about was he claimed, this was something he shouldn't have lied about, but he claimed that Micha Miller texted him more than he texted her. And that was not the case, because they would say, like, at times there would be 50 texts, cyber stalking texts to her in just a matter of time. So anyway, justice may be coming for him, and we'll keep up with that to see. I still think he's responsible for her death, whether it be he drove her to, what happened, or if something else happened. And that's just allegedly. It's just my speculation. We'll find out, I guess, or maybe we won't. Okay, Sarasota Tim. Let me start over. Okay, I wanted to give myself a minute mark so I can put it in. So I'm going to put it about 7 minutes in. I'm talking about Sarasota Tim. And my lipstick is just a little bit bad there. Anyway, so Tim went to the Keys, allegedly. And if you watch the videos, you'll know why I'm saying allegedly. He shows Campground 74 or something like that. I didn't put it down in my notes. Anyway, he talks about that it's the worst camp experience he's ever had in his life or something like that. The main thing I can say to him is, you're not a spring chicken anymore. And, at age 30, you might have thought that campground or that camping spot was the greatest thing in the world. But at 65, 66, 70, it's like, no, it's not. Now, unless you stay in the business of, I think, camping in a tent, you're not going to like it, I don't think, at that age. Now, if it's something you've done all your life and you've continued to do it when you've gotten older, you're probably fine. But for someone who has gotten used to the conveniences, I can't see him doing this again. I feel like that, I don't know, I feel like that he's going to try to return the tent. Anyway, I wouldn't be shocked if that's not what happened. Now, the air mattress, he may try to return that. I don't know. Y'all know how he is. He tries to return everything. And because I just don't believe he's going to do this again. Now, he may fool me wrong, but I don't know. I just can't see him doing this again. Okay, he ends up at Ted and Jolene's at Pence Point. I hate that name, but whatever. I just wish everybody would say, he's at Ted and Jolene's. I don't know why I don't like that name. I just don't like it. Anyway, he ends up there, and of course, Teddy jokes that he's got some work for him to do, so we'll see if that really happens. Now, he's got that tent set up on, it looked like the dock. I'm like, I'd rather been at your campground that you hated than to be up on that dock. Jaws might come out. You never know. Mr. Alligator might come out. And I guess Mr. Alligator could have come out at the campground, but for some reason I think he's more likely to come out up on top of that dock than at that campground. Anyway, he was complaining at the campground. I need to go back up. He was complaining at the campground about everything had changed. He went to that resort where he says that Cocktail was filmed, and I always thought Cocktail was filmed down in the Bahamas or somewhere. But he claimed that the bar they filmed at was there. Maybe it was. And he starts talking about that everything has changed. It's become more modernized. And what's so funny when he does this, when he says all this, I'm like, I thought you liked everything more modernized. You talk about up there in, Delray and all them other places that, you know, everything looks new. I thought you liked all that. But yet down here in this area where you saw it before, now all of a sudden you don't like it. So that should tell you something, Tim, that not everything becomes modernized is for the better. Just saying that. He claims the hotels are expensive. Well, I done looked that up. I done knew that. Now, there was one place outside of Homestead that wasn't too bad, but of course that wasn't in the Keys, that looked like a nice place to stay, and it was in the 70s a night. And I thought, well, I could stay there if, you know, it was me, but no, Tim, he wants to be, you can't stay in a mom and pop place, you know, because this would look like it was locally owned. You got to stay in a name brand. You got to stay at a Hilton or even a Holiday Inn or something like that. No, you can't stay in no local place. Why, nobody would know about that. Yeah, that's me talking. All right, y'all, I don't really have anything else to say. I'm not going to make this video really, really long. I just want to come on and say hello and do my Vlogmas gifts and let you know that I am going back to work today. We'll be off Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. We go back on the 26th, which is fine. I do have a lot to do around this house because I've kind of just come in and threw everything down, and I feel like I'll never get my car unloaded. And most of the stuff I bought at Buc-ee's. Because we really didn't go shopping. I mean, I bought a few things at the Christmas store. Ornaments. A couple of gifts. But I mean, as far as stuff, I bought most of it at Buc-ee's. And I could still have stayed in there all day. I love Buc-ee's. Now, people can make fun of me all they want to for loving Buc-ee's, but I love it. And I like going in there and looking and not worrying about filming. So, I hope y'all have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow and probably every day this week. But don't hold me to that. So I'll talk to y'all later. Love you. Bye.